All right, everybody, and welcome to the Touch of Gaming podcast, episode number 134. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison, and joining me this week again, Jared Schultz. I had to put an extra word in there to make the that big bland sound, so sorry about that, Jared.
I appreciate it.
I had to delay it a little bit.
Yeah.
How's it going, my friend?
It's not been my best week, but I can't complain too much.
That's good. That's good. We won't get into it, but let's get into the show. Have you played many games over the last week,
Mr. I've actually had a little extra time to play games. But what about? You want me to talk about them, or are we going straight there?
Oh,
it's a little fast for me.
Yeah, no, I just thought we'd yammer a bit while I sip some drink before we get started. So I usually throw an open-ended question, so it takes a little longer, and then I can take some sips without getting awkward pauses.
Nice. And you are constantly watching the hockey game, so if suddenly you cheer loudly, we'll all know why. I'm
actually not watching the hockey game because my TV's outside and around a corner, so I can't watch it. And even if it was in I don't know, right in front of me, I wouldn't watch it anyway. That would be rude. Even though there's only 5 games left in the season and we're making a heavy playoff push, so we're hopefully going to be inching our way up the standings, I'm sacrificing, Jared, just so I could spend a little bit of time with you. I hope you feel special.
I really appreciate that, Lloyd. Well, so I've been playing a game called The Tribes. Still, this has become a new freemium game that I'm playing pretty regularly at the recommendation of one of our listeners. It's pretty good. You get different islands though, and I'm getting to the point where I'm getting multiple islands. And as soon as you start getting multiple islands, the game starts slowing down. It takes like probably about 30 seconds to switch between islands on a loading string.
Right.
And that's just annoying.
Oh, so they're not available right on one screen. You have to go between them that way.
Yeah, they're like literally different. Like one's like a desert environment, and one's like a jungle, and one's like icy and stuff like that.
That's no good.
So that's getting a little annoying. Also, my premium currency disappeared. I haven't bought anything in it yet, but they give you like 1 per level, it just like disappeared, and I was like, what's going on? And I don't know what happened yet. It still is gone. I had like 14 or 15 that I was saving up, and I now have 1 because I've only gotten 1 level.
Nice.
So that's not good, but I still really like the game. You're managing lots of resources, and some of your islands don't have one particular resource, so you have to build zeppelins and send them from the other islands. Like, one of them doesn't get marble, so you send them a bunch of marble from your other islands. That's kind of fun. But yeah, it's a good one, and still enjoying building up my little caveman town. I've been playing a game called Mr. Crab. And Mr. Crab, it's a game by Illusion Labs, and Illusion Labs is one of my absolute favorite developers. Well, they just have 2 games that I've really, really loved, and so pretty much whenever they bring out stuff, I buy it. And so far, they have 2 really good ones, and some of the other ones I'm just kind of lukewarm on. But those 2 were really good. So I went and picked up this one that came out this week. It's kind of strange because it's an auto runner, but it's like on a circular thing. We may end up reviewing it a little bit later. It's interesting. Put it that way.
Yeah. I concur.
Yeah, it's at least a little bit different take on the auto runner thing. I'm not sure it needed to necessarily be an auto runner, but yeah. So we'll see. Still playing it some more, and then I've been playing a ton of Nimble Quest. It's just the greatest for just a few minutes. I know this looks really bad because pretty much everything I've been playing is freemium games, but it happens sometimes.
Right.
What about you, Lloyd? What have you been playing?
Yeah, I've been playing Mr. Crab as well. I picked that one up and played a little bit. again, it's kind of simplistic and stuff, just like you said. But it's interesting. It's one of those games that I don't know how I feel about it yet. Been playing Simpsons Tapped Out still, like mad. Like that's pretty much the only thing I do on my iPad now. It's turning into an addiction because of the stupid like snake whacking day, whatever that event is that's happening. So yeah, it's tough. Been playing Nimble Quest a lot. We're doing really good in Nimble Quest. We finished. We're in like the top 30 for this event that's going on right now, and that's like in the world. So these are like other websites, other things, people that are just ahead of us. I think. Well, there's one of the Touch Arcade groups is ahead of us, and I think I saw like Gizmodo or Reddit was just above us or something. So, yeah, we're doing really well. I'm quite pleased at that. So I've been playing a lot of that as well. I picked up The Other Brothers a while ago, and we were talking about that a bit, that I had just played it a little bit. They came out with a patch that was supposed to fix the controls, and I think they destroyed the controls. I can no longer control this game with the on-screen controls. It's really, I don't know, it just doesn't work really well. I guess the nice thing about that is they added iCade support. So I've been playing it with my iCade 8-bitty, the little mini USB Bluetooth controller, or sorry, not USB, the Bluetooth controller. And yeah, I've been playing it that way, and it's better, but I don't know, something about it not having good on-screen controls has kind of kept me from really getting back into it. Gonna really try to give it another chance, because I love the heck out of the look and feel of this game. So I really want to play it and see where that goes. What else? I picked up Out of Water today, which is it's the new Half Brick game that they just released, and essentially it's you have fish and you flip the fish and you're skipping them across the water, and each of the fish have different properties, and you have to try to get the fish to skip a certain, like, as many times as possible and go as far as possible. And there's different unlockables and things like that. So just getting into that one. It just came out yesterday for 99 cents. So I've just been getting into that one. And I've been playing a lot of a game that I'm going to be reviewing this episode, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rooftop Run. I think my kids actually played it more than I have. But I've been watching it and playing it and doing stuff like that. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about that one later in the episode. But yeah, that's about it. So, what do you say we get into the news, man?
That sounds good. Sorry, I was typing in the chat room.
I could tell. I looked over and I saw you were focusing on the keyboard. It's like, okay, gotta talk some more. All right, well, let's get into the news. You wanted to talk about this one, Rubicon's next game. You're pretty excited about this.
Yeah, for a lot of people, Rubicon is not like a normal name that you hear all the time. But it's the people that made Great Little War Game, and I can't remember what the other one. What was it, like? Great Little War Game and Great Big War
Games. Yeah.
Yep. So they were kind of turn-based games. I thought they were a lot of fun. Really enjoyed them, and it's kind of, for me, the closest thing that's come to like Advance Wars on the iOS so far. Mm-hmm. Well, they went ahead and announced their next game. It was published over on a different website than what you normally get your information from, called Pocket Tactics. And it's called Combat Monsters. And it has some card game elements, and it's a little interesting. It's kind of like, here's the Rubicon's own words: Magic the Gathering simplified down to be playable without a degree in math. But with actual 3D monsters hurling fireballs at each other, not some lame bits of paper. Nice. That was the actual quote from them. So it's kind of cool. There's a screenshot. It looks really, really interesting. I'm excited for it. It looks like there's a beta kicking off here really soon. If I knew a way to get into the beta, I definitely would try. But sure. It looks really good, and I'm excited to see great announcements.
Cool. I'm really looking forward to that one. Just by the way, I opened up whatchamacallit, Nimble Quest, just to see where we sat, and it looks like a couple other people joined up the guild. We're now number 19 in the world, the ToG guild, ToG. So yeah,
watch out. Here we come.
So everybody that's listening to this that's playing Nimble Quest, just join the guild ToG, and you can join with us and compete with us against other people in the world. Let's see. All guilds. So right above us is Kotaku, and then Gizmo, and then a couple other. There's Klean, I don't know what that is, and Bitsun. So it looks like there's some other language people that are getting in on it, or forums and sites that are getting on it. But we're basically right behind Kotaku and Gizmodo. So yeah, we're ranking up there with some of the big boys, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty respectable.
That is very respectable. So thanks to everybody that's joined the guild in Nimble Quest. And if anybody is playing it, and here's a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe an incentive to join up. The last time that we finished, I guess, one of the rounds in the arena, pretty much everybody in the guild got 20 tokens. So if you want free tokens, join ToG and compete in the arena, and we can hopefully get some more people in, do better, and then maybe even get some more tokens. So please join us.
Yeah, so we get, as long as the top 30 in our guild will get scored and get whatever that bonus is. And it has been 10, but like you said, we got 20 this last time because we broke the top 30. So, and right now we're at 19, so who knows what we can go to.
Maybe it's a million. Maybe it's a million tokens, Jared. I'm really hoping it's a million. Do you think it's a million? Could it be a million? I think it might be a million. It's got to be a million. All right, moving on. Let's get in with our next story. Talking about millions, there was an interesting article over at TechCrunch. And do you know the game developer Supercell?
Yes, I do.
They make a lot of games. According to their to the article on TechCrunch, it's a company out of Helsinki. They have 100 people that work for them. They have like 8.5 million daily active users across all of their games. It's something like 400 games or something on the App Store. I can't find the actual number right now that I'm looking for it, but it's something like that. It's a large number. Well, they're making a lot of money. As of like this article, they're making $2.4 million a day in revenue from in-app purchases, because pretty much all their games are freemium. So they have games on iOS and I believe Android. And yeah, they're making a lot of money. $2.4 million a day. Jared, would you like to make that kind of money?
I would love to make that kind of money.
I'd love to have like just a 1% share of that kind of money. If they could just like cut me in for a percentage, I'd be happy. Give me 1 point. What's that going to do to your bottom line? Not that much there, Supercell. Yeah,
and it's not one that you actually hear of a lot, but it is because they do a lot of freemium games. Yes, but it's really, really impressive.
Yeah, I'm looking for the name. I can never remember the name of the one that's doing. It's always in like the number one.
Clash of Clans.
Clash. That's right. I thought it was Clash of Titans, but I knew that wasn't right. So yeah, Clash of Clans is their big one. That pretty much at least on the Canadian App Store, it's always number one for top grossing. Like it's been there forever. Every once in a while, you'll see Simpsons will pop up there, or Candy Crush. Some other ones will pop up there. But more often than not, yeah, a Clash of Clans is right up there. Last quarter, Supercell made 1.79 million gross, and they netted 104 million of that. So, in a quarter, it cost them $80 million in a quarter, or less than, probably like 75 million in the quarter to run their games, pay everybody, pay for electricity, and they made $104 million off the top after all that was done. And this is after people like Apple and Android taking their percentage off of all these revenues. Dude, why am I not making 400 games and putting them on the App Store, man?
Seriously, I mean, that is just crazy that they're doing so well. But it's cool that you're seeing companies that are successful. In some ways, I kind of see them as like a more successful Zynga, like because they've been able to figure out that next step of monetizing some of that, whereas
and it seems
Farmville was kind of one hit.
Totally. And it seems like they're better at designing these games so they're not like an obvious like dip into your wallets. Like there's a lot of gameplay in these games, and a lot of people don't even spend any money on this. So it's good to see that they're doing so well. So anyway, look for more big things to come from Supercell. They're making a bucket load of money. So damn, that's good on them. Good on them. It's good to see. All right. Next up, this is going to be a last story for the week. Not much news came out this week, Jared. It's been kind of quiet, which is surprising. But this one was interesting. This news broke a little while ago, but I thought I'd mention it. Do you remember the game Trism from way back when the App Store first launched? It was like the first runaway success.
Yeah, it was in the very earliest games in like that first 2 months that the App Store existed.
Yeah, and it was the first big, like, holy crap, you can make real money doing this. The developer, Steve Demeter, he basically said that he quit his job and is going to be working on games full time because he made so much money selling Trism for like $3.99 or $5.99 or whatever it was. It's now down to $3, but I think it was a little bit more when it first came out. Well, at GDC, he apparently showed off I guess some screens or a sample of Trism 2. So who knows? I mean, it's been what, 3 years? It came out in 2008. So I mean, that's a long time ago in App Store time. That's like dinosaur age of the App Store. So who knows what's going to happen, but he made $250,000 in 2 months on the original App Store, and things are much, much bigger. So some of the screens that he showed off, it looks like they have like Facebook integration and other things. Maybe this is a more social version. He said it's going to be free to play, but there's a way that you can unlock all the content in the game by just doing an in-app purchase to unlock the full version and stuff like that. So I don't know. It looks pretty interesting, and hopefully this does come out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good game. Excited.
Did you play the first one?
I did. I played it. Probably not a lot, but I did enjoy it and thought it was a good, solid puzzle game. And I think, like a lot of people, it was one of the first ones that I said, yeah, you really can game on this thing, and it's a good platform. So.
Exactly. Yeah, you can really make some money on the App Store apparently. I think I borrowed my brother's iPhone or something like that to play it. So I think I played it. Oh no, that wasn't the game. No, I bought it. That's right. I was gonna say I played the free version on jailbroken phones before it launched, but it wasn't this game. That was the Tap Tap Revolution stuff, where it came out as a free jailbroken app, and then when the App Store flipped around to having real apps, they started selling it, and they made a bucket-load of money anyway. So yeah, pretty cool. So yeah, look for more on Trism 2. They say that it's probably going to be coming this year. So anyway, who knows? There was an article up on Polygon that was talking about it. So if it's a big site like that is posting news on it, it might be destined to happen.
Yeah, it might be imminent too.
Exactly. All right, man. That's about it for news. I feel like we have nothing to talk about this week. It seems kind of sad. Come on, developers, get out there, make some news, so we have stuff to talk about. All right, let's get into the reviews, Jared. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to take this one over?
So I think I'm going to go first.
All right.
I'm going to talk about a little game called Motor World Car Factory. So this game is a freemium game in which you take over as the owner of a car factory, hence Motor World Car Factory. So the game is kind of goofy. It's a little strange, but basically you have a little factory and you have little workers who operate on donuts. I'm sorry, I got distracted again by the forum, the chat room. I need to never look at that when I'm talking. But you start off and you can only build very basic cars. You can build little sedans and coupes and just teeny tiny cars. And as you build and get experience at those, you then are able to build more exciting ones. There's also a couple of really weird mechanics in this. For example, there's you can breed your cars, and it feels a little bit like I don't know, like a Pokemon type thing where you put one car in and another car in, and they even make like some stupid jokes about the fact that you're going off to breed cars. But you then get your cars and you can unlock new cars. And when you get the car, you have to tap on the car to slowly move it throughout your factory, and your available workers will go and work on it, and it'll slowly push it down the line. And then it gets to your sales lot, and there you can add any extra features you want to add, and you can also set the price. So I often decided just to set my prices high because I didn't want to, play it like every 15 minutes. So I'll go and set my prices pretty high. And then I also get more profit off of each one. So, and the only thing that it does is the higher you set the price, the longer it takes your car to sell. So, you could set it for like $5,000 and sell it in 15 minutes, or $6,000 and sell it in an hour. Um, so, as this is going on, you keep pushing it, and then you slowly just build up your car factory. You can then hire your friends to come and be workers in your factory, which at times is helpful because they can be workers, and you don't have to actually pay new workers. You can just hire your friends to work for you. And then the way that the game works is that you have donuts, and you only have so many donuts, and they regenerate. So that's kind of how they get around that. Additionally, you can build on a bunch of extra shops, and the shops require a whole bunch of work. So you then have to tap on them, and they take a long time, and often your workers will get exhausted and just fall on the ground, and you have to give them a donut again to get them moving again. But the graphics on it look like they're like 8-bit. They look really, really simplistic, and when they build the cars, they just like swing their little like 6-pixel hands and with little teeny tiny hammers, and somehow they're building the car. It's a little goofy. I heard about it on another podcast, and I thought that it sounded interesting, and was willing to give it a try. I don't think I am quite as impressed as it was as other people were about this game. You do hit a paywall pretty hard, which I mean is fine. I understand developers need to make money. It's always tricky, especially with freemium games right now, of figuring out how to balance that so that you're getting the right amount of gameplay away, but you're also making it so that it's fun and playable, and that you're making the money. So you kind of have to always balance that. And in some ways, I feel like they went just a little bit too far. But obviously, your mileage could vary. It is a lot of fun just to play for a couple of minutes and not have to think, because there's really not that much to think about in this game. There's also some crazy research things that you do, where you pay a bunch of money and then you come back, 2 hours later, and all of a sudden they'll put on 2 car pieces together at a time. There's a lot of other social options. You have a big collection going on. There are little quests. The quests, in my experience, are kind of lame, especially because some of them will they'll give you a quest and you'll have to have it done in like 8 minutes. Well, it takes you longer than that to build the car, so it feels a little cheap when, even though I have a fairly decent team, where I haven't bought the super workers and stuff, I can't play the game, or I can't complete the quest because I just can't complete the cars fast enough. I've even tried pre-building the cars and putting them on my line and then accepting the quest, and it works on some of them, but some of them you have to have 6 of them, and you can only have 4 cars in process or 5 cars in process. So there's just no way to get it far enough along that I could get through all the cars in time. It's interesting. I really do think it's a good game. There are goofy little news reports that'll come on. They give you, say, monthly reports of how you're doing and how you're viewed. There's a little map of the world that updates somewhat regularly that shows you how many fans you have. And so you get to pick where you start it. So I totally decided to try and start it in Winnipeg just because I was trying to be funny. So I approximated where Winnipeg is, and then the popularity of your brand grows and grows out from wherever you start. And so like right now I have 7.7 million fans. And then of course as the game goes on, it goes really over the top. So by the late game kind of where I'm at now, I'm building like jet cars, and I just researched like space travel, so I don't know what that'll unlock here for me. I also built a little like racetrack for the buildings, so I now have my own racetrack, and I build race cars for it, and they sell really expensive. And at one point, you can breed some cars, and you come out with a desert drone that looks like a little like military Humvee that costs like 4 times as much as all the other cars. And I just built one of those, and took forever. But yeah, so it's a good game. Um, it is a little strong in the freemium aspect, but I would recommend giving it a try and seeing if you like it. So I'm going to give this game 4 out of 5 and say that it might be worth your time to check it out and download it. If you do, you can go ahead and add me. I'm Quacko. I'm not sure I will be playing it for a whole lot longer, but if you get it fairly soon and add me, then I'll at least come work in your factory for free. So yeah, that's how you can put me to work for you.
Awesome. Sounds interesting. I might have to check it out. I like the art style because I kind of like lame games, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of that 8-bitty retro look that's kind of, yeah, it really does look like a game that was played on the NES originally. Like,
right. Well,
if you look at it, it's kind of funny. So.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for that one. Let's move on. We'll get into my review for today. I'm going to talk about a game called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rooftop Run. I'm going to show it up. Nice little game, and it's based on it's a Nickelodeon game, and it's based on the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles television show that's on now. So kind of 3D animated, but with kind of like anime sort of effects put over it. It's a pretty cool show. So it's kind of cool to see a really neat game come out of it. Instead of trying to do like a beat 'em up or anything like that. Actually, before I get into that, the game is $2 in the App Store, $1.99. I didn't mention the price. So instead of trying to do like a beat 'em up like the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade games, they decided to do an auto runner, which I've said in the past I'm done with and I'm tired of, and I never want to play another one. So of course, when this one came and hit the store, I had to go buy it because apparently my word means nothing. Actually, no, it's because my kids really, really, really love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're obsessed with it, and I knew that they would have a lot of fun with this game. So when you first start the game, you get to choose one of the 4 turtles, whichever one you want. So you can do Donatello, Raph, Leonardo, or Mikey, and you get to start the game. And when you've chosen those characters, that's it. That's the only character you can use until you gain enough coins to buy another one. But we'll get into that in a second. So you basically start the game. It does a little animation. A lot of things happen. There's full voiceover in this game when you do things. So if you've listened to the cartoon or whatever, it basically has the same voice actors, obviously. And essentially, you're running away from one of the Krangs, and you basically you're running, and you have a bar at the top of the screen that counts down. So it goes from big to small, just kind of like a little gauge, and that's how close the Krang is to catching you. And I guess they're chasing you in a ship or whatever. And as you're running through the game, there's little green orbs, and if you pick them up, they give you a little bit more time in that bar. If you are doing well and you fill that bar, you go into a little bit of a little bonus mode where you start running really fast. You have all these lines behind you, but then you play like a little kind of rhythm mini game sort of where it basically has a bunch of targets on the screen, and if you hit them all, you do some crazy attacks and beat up a whole bunch of the foot gang that is on the screen trying to dodge you. But anyway, as you're going through the game and running and picking up green orbs, there's little guys that will appear on the level in front of you. And the whole game itself is controlled with just touching. So to jump, you tap the screen. To jump far, you tap the screen and hold it. To double jump, you tap the screen twice. To attack an enemy, you touch the screen. To block an enemy shot, can you guess at all what you do? You touch the screen. So
touch the screen?
Yeah, you do. You got it. You haven't even played it, Jared. You're so smart.
I'm getting good at this.
And essentially that's the way the whole game works. As you kill enemies, you pick up coins. So you're basically just trying to run through it, stay alive as long as possible, keep blowing up enemies to get coins, and then get as far as you can before you die. You can fall down a pit, you can hit a bunch of different obstacles to slow you down and get killed by the Krangs. But essentially what happens is you get as far as you can go. Then it gives you a screen that tells you how far you went and how many coins you got, and then you can play again and just keep playing over and over and over and over and over again. The game is divided up into 3 areas. I've only gotten to the 2nd area. I haven't seen the 3rd area yet because I guess I haven't done that good. And it changes a little bit, and it's kind of like in Cannibalt or any of those other games where it changes. So I guess Cannibalt doesn't do it, but there's a lot of auto runners where it changes from like one kind of look and feel to another. I guess the Pitfall one was like that, where you go from kind of like the Incan to a jungle to running through a cave, stuff like that. Same thing happens in this game. But anyway, so after you beat the game, or after you die, or whatever, if you get to that screen where it tells you how well you did, you can either play again or go to the store. The store allows you to buy different things. You can buy gear, weapons, gadgets, or boosts. So gear, as far as I can tell, all the gear does is it changes your look and feel. So it's almost like a skin or something. It doesn't appear to do anything as far as I can tell, and they're really expensive. So it's like 6,000 for the first skin and 12,000 coins for the next skin. To kind of give you an idea of how much that is, my average run, I'm getting about 100 coins. So it'll take me a lot of runs to buy one of those.
Wow.
And it's the same thing for for weapons. You can get cyber nunchucks or stealth nunchucks for my Mikey character, and it looks like all they do is just change your look and feel. 4,800 and 9,600 for those ones. So I haven't bought any of those because they don't seem to be worth it to me. But there are boosts, and what boosts do is they give you basically different powers and things, and they're all pretty affordable. So you can buy one. Like impact recovery, recover faster from impacts, or a whole bunch of other ones to do. And what those will basically allow you to do is go further, because impact recovery, for example, if you hit the side of a building, you kind of pause for a second and then climb up it. This will just make that happen faster, so you don't run out of time that much. So the boosts are a good thing. And then there's gadgets, which are kind of one-use things. So there's the laser bot, the blast shield, energy magnet, rocket launch, coiner, and turtle saver. I've only used a couple of these. The other ones are really expensive. And these give you kind of a one-time use item that will do certain things, like laser bots will basically shoot things. Energy magnet will suck up all the energy orbs as you get close to it. So typical things that you would see in these auto runners, but they're all pretty expensive for one-time use items. And that's essentially it. If you want to play a different turtle, all the other 3 turtles, so I'm on Michelangelo, so if I want to buy Leo, Raph, or Donatello, it's 3,600 coins each, or about 36 times through the game if I do as well as I do on average. And then there's a special character, Dog Pound, which is one of the enemies from the TV show, and he's 28,500 coins, so that'll take a lot more. And then of course all of these upgrades, if you unlock a bunch of stuff for Mike, you're gonna have to do the same thing for Leo and Raph and stuff like that. So all in all, it's a really fun game. When you're going through the game and jumping on enemies, sometimes there'll be enemies in the sky, and if you touch the screen when they're highlighted red, you'll actually jump up in the air, and sometimes you can find alternate paths through the game as you're flying through the air, and sometimes there'll be pieces of pizza up there and stuff like that, and other things that will help you get more points or refill your meter or do better. In the game, there's a whole bunch of different missions, which are essentially the achievements. So when you complete a mission, you get an achievement. So for example, the easy ones: run 250 meters total, run 500, run 1,000, run 2,000. defeat a Krang ship, which I've never even gotten to see a Krang warship, so I don't know how difficult that is, but that must be near the end of the third section, I would think, which I haven't gotten to yet. Then there's like buy gadget, buy all the gadgets, collect 10,000 speed orbs, collect 25,000 coins, etc., etc. And there's 37 achievements in total because there's an achievement for collecting all 37 achievements. So the game itself is pretty simplistic, but it is a lot of fun. Like my kids pretty much played it for an hour straight a little bit earlier, passing it back and forth. I played it for a long time myself, passing it back and forth. So it's not just a game that my kids love, it's a game that I'm also enjoying playing as well. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Nickelodeon's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rooftop Run. If you're a fan of the Ninja Turtles, if you like the TV show or just the characters, all the stuff that they say, all of the jokes, all of the dumb things, Mike will start yelling Byakusha and kicking people, and it's like my nunchucks are on fire, and all the other kind of garbage that they say in the show. That's all in this game. I'm really hoping that Nick will do well with this game and add more updates to it, get some of the other characters. It would be cool to basically have maybe powers that aren't just cosmetic, or uniforms that aren't just cosmetic. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really digging this one. So check it out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Rooftop Run, $1.99 on the App Store, and I give it a 4 out of 5. And of course, there's in-app purchases as well, so you can buy coins if you don't want to I don't know, find them yourself. You can do that. So, yeah,
it's a little surprising to me that you liked it after you've been so burned out on auto runners.
Yeah, I think I really like Ninja Turtles. Like I've watched all of the episodes of the TV show with my kids, and we love it. And I have a bunch on my DVR, and we watch them over and over and over again. And I really love kind of what they done to, like, I grew up with Ninja Turtles. I really love the original cartoon series. I had the original comics. I had most of the original comics for like the first like 20 issues or whatever, which I stupidly sold a long time ago. I wish I still had them because they'd be worth hundreds of dollars for some of those issues. I just really I really love the world, even like way back to the pen and paper Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles role-playing game way back in the day. I'm a huge Turtle fan. I love what they're doing with the new cartoon, and this game seems to be on point with that. The same kind of feel as what the new cartoon has as well. So yeah, I really dig it. So if you're into Turtles, you'll love it. If you're not, it's an auto runner, and there's a lot of them on the App Store. There's probably one that might be better, I don't know, better suited to your interests out there. But even if not, I mean, people that don't like Turtles will still like this auto runner. It's not like it's a bad game because it's focusing on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So do check it out.
Cool.
All right, man. Anything else to add before we close this one up?
No, I don't think so. I think that's about it for today.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Thanks for subscribing. And most importantly, thanks for contacting us and letting us know what you think of the show. Head on over to vgpodcast.com if you want to contact us, if you haven't already. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to hear from you more. You can click contact us at the top of the page to send us an email. You can email us directly at vgpodcast@gmail.com, or you can call our voicemail line, which is area code 505 VG Podcast. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'd love to read your emails and play your voicemails on the show. I'd love to get a lot more interaction going with the people that listen. Thanks to everybody that joins the forums as well, because we do have forums. And if you're playing Nimble Quest, join the ToG guild. We'd love to have more people join it up and help us get up into maybe the top 10. That would be pretty darn awesome as well.
Yeah, and then we can get 1 million tokens.
A million. It's got to be 1 million, man. It definitely has to be 1 million.
I don't know what else it could be.
All right, guys. Thanks again for joining us for the ToG episode number 134. We'll talk to you guys again next week. Take it easy.